Hello and welcome to another edition of Superhero Movie Review Time. I'm your host Grant Liston, a very bored Englishman. This week I bring to you the reason why the third in every trilogy is always the worst. This is The Dark Knight Rises. So a film starts off with a group of mercenaries who are talking to... Jesus Christ, that's fucking Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. It looks weird without the bit. Oh. So Littlefinger brings on board a doctor named Pavel and a few prisoners and then starts to interrogate them. Poorly. He sticks one of the prisoners' heads out the window and starts yelling questions at him. First of all, the prisoner's got a bag on his head so he can't hear anything, and all that wind rushes around. This is what it gets down like. This fucking film has pissed me off already. So Littlefinger starts asking questions about a man named Bane, when all of a sudden we hear...
Or perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane.
No. No, come on, no! Oh, so we have Bane, played by Tom Hardy, and... I like Tom Hardy, and he's got one hell of a fan base because he deserves it. But this is the voice he went with? Oh God! Now I'm sorry, but first of all, we've got Christian Bale's Batman, who sounds like he's got throat cancer, and now we've got the big bad villain Bane, who sounds like Sean Connery on acid. So Bane and his mercenaries kill everyone on board and destroy the plane. He also kidnaps Dr. Pavel, whilst also sacrificing one of his own men by saying, "One of us needs to stay behind, they'll be expecting us." First of all, who are they? Why would they be expecting one dead body? Would it be more prudent to, leave no survivors, no bodies of anything, create the illusion of mystery? So nothing can be traced to you. That's what a smart criminal would do. But interestingly enough, the villain, the henchman in question, just accepts his fate with, "We're going to start the fire, yes?" What fucking fire? Why should you be glad to sacrifice your life? Why do you follow him blindly? Answer the questions, movie. Answer these questions before creating questions, okay? Make it clear that Bane is powerful, not by just having him speak like a twat. Seriously, I honestly reckon that Bane wanted to get rid of his most stupidest henchman, but it just so happens that henchman was his retarded cousin. So instead of doing the whole just offering him when no one's looking, he's like, "No, stay behind. Mother will be so proud of you." Now I just sound like a farmer, because Bane's voice is stupid! So it's been 8 years, that's right, 8 years since the Joker killings and the death of Harvey Dent. And the mayor, who is still the mayor from The Dark Knight, he stayed on for these 8 years, good for him. Well, he's hosting Harvey Dent Day at Wayne Manor. Yeah, Harvey Dent Day. Bruce Wayne's become somewhat of a hermit, and he's got a really bitchin' Master Splinter beard going on there, I quite like that. And Commissioner Gordon's got a speech revealing the whole truth about Harvey Dent, but when it's time for him to deliver his speech, he decides tonight's not the night. We now get introduced to our second sort of criminal, Selina Kyle, aka Catwoman, played by Anne Hathaway. And you know what? She actually shocked me. She actually put on a really good performance here. She's currently posing as a maid in Wayne Manor, and she gets caught stealing Bruce's mother's pearls, so then she slips in from very innocent, "Oh, you would never suspect me," to very, very seductive and almost like, "I just don't care." It's a real nice quick turn. It's more in the eyes and the smile that instantly recognise the change in persona, which is really, really cool. So very nonchalantly, she picks up the pearls, kicks away Bruce's cane and backflips out the window. She then takes off some leather garb and reveals she's wearing quite a slinky looking dress, and then just hops in a limo with some congressmen. So after being robbed, Bruce then finally goes down to the Batcave to do some research, and seriously, movie, you've got a spelling mistake in your newspapers? Have some fucking self-respect. Alfred then tries to have a moment with Bruce, and he tells him that he's not ready to return as Batman, and he also gives this story of how he'd always go on a holiday once a year to France, in a way looking for Bruce. It just so happens he's looking for him in a 5-star resort with, bed and breakfast, and everything's given to him on a whim, basically. If I was looking for Bruce Wayne, I would go for 5-star hotels too, Alfred. But in Alfred's story, he tells Bruce that he'd always sit down in his favourite spot with his favourite drink and look up in hopes of seeing Bruce with maybe a wife and some kids. And they wouldn't say anything to each other. They just share a nod. Oh, the foreshadowing! I can't imagine how this film's going to end. But Bruce makes a valuable deduction. Selina didn't take the pearls for a mission. She took them because she liked them. Like all fucking thieves, Bruce. I mean, I know we always complain there's never any, Sherlock Holmes detective work from Batman, but fuck, no shit, Sherlock. But it turns out her real mission was to gather Bruce Wayne's fingerprints and sell them to a human ventriloquist doll. So Selina makes a deal with this unholy looking man-child, and he double-crosses her. But she has an ace in the hole because she's got the missing congressman just sitting at the bar. But of course, it's implausible o'clock right now, so that means the SWAT will turn up within seconds of this discovery being made. So while the SWAT and the police are happily shooting away at the bad guys, Selina skillfully slips away. James Gordon and his men then go down into the sewers following the bad guys, and it turns out that Jim Gordon's men suffer from a really bad disease called bullet cushion, and all the bullets are just attracted to them, and they all drop. So Gordon's then captured and brought forward to Bane. So Bane has Gordon searched, and he discovers the letter that Gordon wrote about Dent. Gordon then rolls away to safety and is then shot in the buttocks.
In the buttocks, sir. Oh, that must be a sight.
Oh look! It's now quarter past bullshit, because now there's a young copper named Blake who discovered a body, an orphan boy's body, at the docks by the sewers. And he discovers when Jim Gordon goes down to the sewers, bear in mind, Blake didn't follow Gordon down there. He has no idea what's down there, but on a hunch he goes, I bet Gordon's going to wash up out there. And he drives down there and recovers the body of James Gordon. What the fuck, movie? So it turns out that this copper Blake, who's played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, is going to be quite an important part to this movie, so you might as well just accept him. Sorry, guys. So Blake ends up going over to Bruce Wayne's house saying that they need the Batman because it just so happens that Blake knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman. How, you ask? Years ago, Bruce Wayne gave a look, and Blake was like, Batman, yep, him, Batman, called it, fucking called it. Reasons, I suppose. So Bruce decides, after hearing that Jim Gordon's in hospital, to get his knee finally checked out, after he, brutally murdered Harvey Dent and fucked his knee up at the end of the last movie. 8 years ago! Seriously, movie, so much is wrong, and we're barely half hour into it. So whilst at the hospital, Bruce Wayne puts on a ski mask and finds Jim Gordon's room. Now, is it just me, or should Gordon's room be guarded? He is the police commissioner, and if any nut job in a ski mask could just abseil down the side of the hospital and go into his room and start interrogating the commissioner with no guards, yeah, I think they want him dead too. Okay, now we've got to usher in this filler scene, and I didn't even want to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up because this scene is just so pointless, and all they did was use it for most of the trailers. And you've got... So Bruce Wayne goes to this charity event that's hosted by a woman named Miranda Tate, played by Marion Cotillard. And there's this literally this back and forth of I suppose it's flirting and just what rich people talk about. This is just complete filler. It's basically trying to establish there's a relationship between these two characters, and it just doesn't go very far after that scene. And then you get Anne Hathaway back as Catwoman in this scene. Why she's here, still don't really know. I think she may have been invited by a rich guy. And it so happens that she goes, okay, take the pearls back, and then steals Christian Bale's car. So Morgan Freeman returns to the movie to really inject some charisma this film badly needs. And he starts showing Bruce Wayne around some of his new toys, including one called the Bat. And yes, it does come in black. Bruce then slaps on a knee brace, which defies all logic and purpose. It actually makes me want to question life. Alfred starts warning Bruce about the dangers of a man named Bane. How he once escaped from an impossible prison. how he was trained by Ra's al Ghul. Remember Ra's al Ghul from the first movie? The guy who was in charge of that really super secret ninja organisation, and the fact that Bruce is the only one who's got any real clear knowledge about this organisation. Well, apparently, Alfred went on Google Gotham and found out all the information he could ever need. This is called lazy bullshit writing. Bane and his mercs then break into a stock exchange, and their plan is to steal all of Bruce Wayne's money. But then the police and SWAT show up within minutes because their response time is just fucking phenomenal. But it turns out that for their plan to go ahead properly, they've got to wait 8 whole minutes for all the money to be transferred out. Of course, 8 minutes is just far too fucking long for Bane, so he pulls out 6 to 7 dirt bikes out of his fucking arse for him and all of his cronies to escape with some hostages. But it's okay, we've only got to wait 45 minutes of this film for Batman to finally join in, as he finally enters in the chase. But the dumbass police force decide that several masked robbers who have murdered, kidnapped and stole from the stock exchange aren't worth it, so they decide to hunt down the Batman. Seriously, one bike, presumably Bane's with the red helmet, actually turns around in mid-race and heads towards the police officers. Why, you ask? Fuck knows, that's why. It takes one police car to swerve into that bike and it'll knock Bane over, and they could have captured him right there and then, but they decide, no, that one robber means nothing, we're still going after the Batman. Watch this scene again. Look how many fucking cop cars are chasing Batman at this point. One cop car does this. You've got him. Even worse, the whole chase ends with a very underwhelming pratfall. That's right, a pratfall. Batman then realises he's got to invade all of the police force in Gotham, which turns out to be very fucking easy because nobody shoots at him. Not one fucking bullet. Alas, Batman now does his famous GTA impression by hiding down a dark alley while the police are guys like, oh, he's down there, should we follow him? No, let's wait. And then he enters in some kind of cheat code and jumps in the Bat and flies away. And you know what? Not one single police chopper thinks to follow him. Oh, by the way, while all this is going on, Catwoman's actually robbing the gangsters that screwed her over earlier. She's broken into their vault looking for a program called the Clean Slate, so she can start fresh somewhere new. Now, whilst I like the outfit, yeah, for those probable reasons, and to be fair, she does actually look really impressive in the Catwoman outfit, why is she wearing it? Okay, seriously, bear with me on this one, okay? Batman wears his outfit for the symbol and so that no one sees his face, so anyone who thinks that they can't recognise him. That's the point. So he's protecting all the people that he cares for. That is his thing. Bane wears his mask so he can stay alive. You know, it's a breathing apparatus for him, like Vader. Everyone who sees Catwoman knows it's Selina Kyle underneath, so why the mask? On the plus side though, she doesn't put on a stupid voice, so win some, lose some, I think. So she holds this guy hostage as Bane's men surround her and intimidate her, and then she's suddenly helped by the sudden appearance of the Batman. How did he know where she was, or that she was in danger, or that's where Bane's men were? Fuck knows. How did he know she needed help, or where they would all be? Because he's Batman, I guess? And of course this fight seems very, very uninteresting. In fact, it actually borderlines the Adam West version. So we're just going to plough through a good portion of this story because this film's really, really starting to piss me off right now. So Alfred quits his job because Batman's being a little bitch. Bruce now discovers that he's broke because of what happened at the stock exchange. Fox and Batman then basically show Miss Tate that there's this energy emitter they've got to keep safe because if anyone gets their hands on it, they can turn it into a bomb. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen with that, I wonder. And then, of course, Miss Tate and Bruce have what I can only imagine is some ball-slappy bat sex. And after all of that, Batman asks Selina to help him track down Bane. And this is where we get to a scene I actually enjoy. Bane versus Batman. Now bear in mind, if the dialogue was actually said properly by two normal people, this could be a very different dynamic. However, the build-up, the intensity, the actual fighting is actually choreographed quite nicely. And there's only a few punches that don't really hit the mark for me, but I'm not going to lie, I was actually genuinely absorbed by the action in this scene. Bane's voice, while fucking stupid and laughably awful, what he was saying, I was very, very much interested. And I don't know, I'm just thinking, if they were going to do Bane, how they've done him here, I probably would have gone for the actor Dave Bautista for the build, but for the voice I would have used Danny Trejo, give him like a dual role, if you will. So Bautista, you don't have to say a word, mate, you know, not at all. Let Danny Trejo with the Mexican background really fill in all the blanks. I reckon that would be a lot better than the plan. And also, we do get a really satisfying Bane breaking Batman moment, which we've all wanted to see since reading it in the comics. So, yeah, I'll give credit for this one. I did enjoy this moment. And so Bane, with a cruel twist of irony, decides to lock Batman up in the prison he was born in. So now Bane starts his true plan to destroy Gotham. And, just as Bruce Wayne said, he finds the energy reactor and turns it into a fucking neutron bomb. Gee, didn't see that coming, did we? He then manages to trap about 90% of the Gotham Police Department underground by making cement bombs? No, I've never heard of it either. So with these cement bombs, he's lured the police underground to try and smoke them out of the sewers. He then detonates the bomb, and I've got to admit, the visual here when they're at the football ground and the ground is disappearing underneath the players' feet, that was really, really cool. Like, to watch. Amazing. But really, you'd send them all in single file downwards into the sewers. I mean, I get it, you're trying to show force and power, but did no one sit there and think, what if he's not there? Did everyone just go, yes sir, I mean that's some obedience, but I'm calling bullshit. And also, a lot of people overlook this fact that the Joker spent a fair portion of the last film trying to kill the mayor, and Bane does him in one explosion. That's just impressive to me. During all the mayhem and destruction of Gotham, Bane also has all the bridges leading off of Gotham blown up, all apart from one, to negotiate with the military about bringing forward all the resources and supplies and such. So while he's got everyone's attention at the football ground, he picks up a microphone and asks the crowds to look upon what he's made, and it's the bomb. He also brings forward Dr. Pavel from, remember at the beginning of the film, yeah? They bring him forward and do the whole, Doctor, what is this? And he's like, it's his bomb. Who can disarm it? Only me. Thank you. And then he breaks his neck. And don't get me wrong, I kind of get the whole, it was a shock factor. Oh wow, he just brought him on so he could kill him. You know, okay, but it was, the character had nothing. Like, nothing to do. There was no mention of like his family, sorry, there was mention of his family being blackmailed, but nothing seen. You know, it was all tell, no show. And I think we needed more background on the character to really feel anything for his death. Bane's next step is to enforce martial law, but with no police officer around, who's going to enforce it? He rolls up a Blackgate prison where 1,000 of Harvey Dent's criminals are behind bars. Bane then produced the letter that Jim Gordon wrote, declaring that Harvey Dent actually killed these people and actually held Gordon's son captive. And so that makes Bane feel justified in releasing all of the criminals back into Gotham. We now return to Broken Bruce, who has his back fixed in possibly the most retarded way. They sling a rope around his torso and hoik him up and basically go, stand there until you can actually stand upright. Wow. Fuck you too. He also has a vision, or maybe he was visited by, but basically Liam Neeson comes back as Ra's al Ghul. Fuck yes. They've actually brought him back, that's the main thing. Can you imagine if they recast him? Fucking hell, I'd gone batshit crazy. Sorry for the pun. Basically, Ra's then flat out tells Bruce that his child escaped from this pit, confirming all the stories. We now get a rocky montage of Bruce building back up his strength so he can climb out of the pit, but he can't quite make the final leap. Now, I don't know about you, but I make it about, half past bullshit? Yeah, I think it's about right. And at this point, I'm sitting there going, okay, so he's just recovered from a broken back. You know, his vertebrae was sticking out of his back, like the guy said. And I'm sitting there going, okay, now he's climbing up this thing with rope around his waist. He can't make that last leap and he falls. He does this several times. And you tell me this didn't fuck his back up even more or put him back another several months of rehabilitation? Fuck you, movie. Fuck you. We may be audiences, but we are not fucking stupid. Admittedly, though, this is a pretty cool scene. They bring back a very familiar face to pass sentence over all the ones that have been judged to be guilty under Bane's Revolution. They bring back the Scarecrow again. And yeah, he gets a good laugh. It's a good crowd reaction pop, actually. The fact that he's actually been in every single film. So we go back to the pit, and Bruce discovers he needs fear to help him escape. Okay. So he climbs up the structure with no rope. And it's almost like the adrenaline and the fear inside him and the very well placed molesting bats again to invoke more fear into him. Yeah. Honestly, every time I see this scene, I ask myself one very important question. Why didn't he take a running leap? Seriously, every time he does that leap, he sort of teeters on the edge and goes, huh, and then falls. Of course, this time, though, he actually makes the leap and all the crewmen was like, "Ray, he did it, woo!" Do you know what that dozy bastard does next? He then stands at the top of this pit, looks up and sees the sun. He's free. This is a prison, right? He then gets this rope that's positioned on top. He then throws that rope back down the fucking pit, allowing murderers, rapists, and people who talk during the cinema. He let them escape. Fucking animals! We now occur the biggest plot hole in my opinion. The fact that Bane says the bomb will go off in 5 months. We cut to a scene with Lucius Fox saying the bomb's going off tomorrow. Okay, so in 5 months, Bruce Wayne has recovered from a broken back, fully, escaped from an impossible to escape prison, made his way back to Gotham, presumably on foot, from Dumfuckistan, because he's got no money or resources, and he's got no gear or equipment, but somehow manages to sneak back into Gotham. Bear in mind, this Gotham, Bane's Gotham, is under martial law, and surrounding it is the military. Do you know what time it is? It's fuck you o'clock! That's what time it is! So then Bruce enlists Selina Kyle to help him take down Bane. Jim Gordon's arrested by Bane's henchmen and is sentenced to death by exile. Batman then decides to create a huge burning bat symbol instead of, being helpful. Then we get that copper guy Blake again, who helps the rest of the police force escape from the underground tunnels to set up the final climactic scene. We've got the GCPD led by the Batman versus Gotham's Revolution led by Bane. This film has been such a disappointment, I can't even gear myself up to feel excited about this climactic fight scene. And while the action's okay and the violence always makes me happy, it's this bit right here. And not only does it ruin the atmosphere of what you've just seen, but in my opinion it actually ruins the entire film.
But I never escaped.
As a child. Child of Ra's al Ghul made the climb.
But he's not the child of Ra's al Ghul. I am. And though I'm not ordinary, I'm a citizen.
Oh, fucking hell. What the fuck was that, pal? Oh my god. Way to sell shock and awe. Oh god. So it turns out that Miranda Tate is actually Talia al Ghul, the daughter of Ra's al Ghul, and she's the child who escaped the pit. Bane was just her protector. So while she tries to blow up Gotham, the trigger doesn't work, and it turns out Jim Gordon, who successfully led the team to find the bomb, has managed to stop the transmitter from working, but the time's still ticking, and so she leaves Bane with the command, "Don't kill him, I want him to feel the fire." And, like Two-Face and Joker before him, Bane gets a really, really shit ending.
We both know that I have to kill you now. You'll just have to imagine the fire.
whole no guns thing. I'm not sure I feel as strongly about it as you do.
But if I was going to write this final climactic Batman scene with everything we've just seen before it, I imagine it looking something a little bit like this.
Bane! Impossible!
Let's finish this, Bane. Me and you.
Well, we are the only two here.
Don't complicate things, Bane.
Well, fine, let's do this, bitch.
Ow!
I'm going to make you my bitch.
Ow!
You slept like a girl.
Oh, your mom fucks like one. I did it. I'm the greatest Batman of all time. Fuck you, George Clooney.
In the meantime, that Blake guy's trying to save a bus full of orphans, and Jim Gordon's trapped inside the container with the bomb in, while this is all following a really, really unimpressive chase scene. You've got Catwoman on the Batcycle riding around, literally just riding around, and you've got Batman in the Bat just hovering above him. He then starts shooting at the container with the bomb inside. You dumb fuck! It just irritates me how careless they were with this film and how they just didn't give a flying fuck about the details. And then, lo and behold, they have Talia al Ghul crash the fucking car and she dies in the car. Moving on. And then Batman hooks the bomb up to the Bat and then flies off, but even more infuriating, he then scrapes it along the pavement and smashes it into a lamppost. I'm like, it's a fucking neutron bomb! And you're trying to get it away from the city, and all you're doing is pissing me off! Oh yeah, by the way, we get this fucking ham-fisted attempt at fucking closure because Gordon flat out asks him, look, if you're going to do a suicide mission, tell me, who are you? Who's the man who saved Gotham? And he goes, oh, I'm not going to tell you who I am, but just remember, anyone can be a hero, even a copper who put a coat over a young boy's shoulders and told him it's all going to be okay. And Gordon's like, Bruce Wayne? Now hang on, fuck off a minute, right? That must have happened, let's call it 30, 35 years ago. That one child he put a coat over his shoulder, right? Are you telling me that there's never been an instant where Jim Gordon's seen a child in need, like say their family's been murdered or they're lost or they need a supportive adult? You tell me Jim Gordon goes, no, I did mine. I'm not helping that child out. No, I did mine a couple of years ago. Yeah, Bruce Wayne. Yeah, I did that. That was me. That's the only child I look after. There must have been other children that a police officer like Jim Gordon helped, but apparently no. That's the only one that he remembered ever in his illustrious police career. So then we have this emotional Bat thing going off, and I've got to be honest, the looks that Batman gives the camera, it's almost like they paid me for this movie. It's awful. And that's the look I get every time I see Batman's face on screen right now. So it looks like he's sacrificed his life. Yeah, I'm not buying it either, people. But we get this private funeral scene for Bruce, and Alfred's crying, and then they unveil a statue of Batman in City Hall to say he was the true hero we deserved, and blah blah, etc. And then we get the double ending here. You get Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character Blake inheriting all of the Bat crap. Oh, and check this out. He has to use his real name, and you'll never guess what his real fucking name is. Robin. Fucking Robin. I'm pretty sure Christopher Nolan did an interview before this movie, and he turned around and said, if I ever have to put Robin in this movie, I will quit, or something along the lines of a ball and chain that he doesn't want to have in this movie, and then throws, what, a tiny little Easter egg? Tiny little Easter egg for you? Yeah? Fuck off. Honestly, this character poses no interest to me. This character Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a good actor. This character means nothing to me. So people that look back and think, oh, that was Robin, or they look back and think, oh, Blake was cool, they just think, yeah, that guy, he was in it. But then we get the other ending where Alfred once again goes to France and he looks up and he sees Bruce staring back at him, and he's with Selena, and they're out in France, and they share that nod. Never saw that coming. No, never saw that coming. And then the film finally closes off with Blake finding the Batcave, and it goes into the credits. And that was The Dark Knight Rises. What a load of crap. I mean, I really, really was disappointed with this film. However, I'm going to give it my 3 good, 3 bad. So, let's start off with the many, many bad points. Number 3. Bane's voice. This was so fucking stupid. And the only reason I like it is because it's goofy, but it's just... Oh, and by the way, it's a very fun game to play. Read any of Donald Trump's tweets in Bane's voice. It's actually quite funny to do. Apart from that, it was just goofy. Did he really turn up on set and go, Christian Bale's doing a stupid voice, and everyone really liked The Dark Knight? I'm going to have to try and rival them at that. No. If you had done a normal voice or an aggressive voice or something intimidating, yes, like you can challenge that, but you just went goofy. Number 2, the ending. Oh my god. Yes, I know it, you know it, it's fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but he flies off with the full knowledge that the autopilot doesn't work, right? There is no physical way or logical way he could have flown 6 miles that way, ejected himself, let the autopilot do the rest, and made it back 6 miles in safety in under 10 seconds. I know it, you know it, it's stupid, and I hate it. And I honestly think Christopher Nolan was just like, bollocks, it'll do. And that's what annoys me, that there was no thought, no care went into these movies. Like, you look at Batman Begins and The Dark Knight before it, how much attention, how much care. And yeah, okay, I've ripped into a few of their problems, but there's only been one or maybe even a couple of real moments I've got a problem with that. And at times, yeah, I can nitpick. This right here, I'm not the first person to say it, I won't be the last, it was fucking stupid. And of course, my number 1 issue with this film, as always, the time continuity. 8 years separate The Dark Knight to The Dark Knight Rises. Remember when I was saying in my last review about The Dark Knight and how there could only really be 6 months? A year was pushing it, but it was about 6 months different. That probably would have worked here as well. Just 6 months after the Joker killings and Harvey Dent's death, keep it relevant. There were so many things that didn't quite make sense. The fact that Bruce never got his leg checked out, how the mayor is still in charge. And then, to further on my point of how bad the time continuity is in this universe, 5 months heals a broken back. Fuck you, movie. Whoever wrote this piece of shit has got away with murder. Okay, in my last review, I really had to scourge and I really had to try and find 3 things I didn't like about The Dark Knight. Here, I really had to scourge and I really had to try and find 3 things I liked about this movie. So, here's my nitpicks of the 3 good things of this movie. At number 3, I would have to say, Bane's fight scenes. Sure, not all of the punches were fluid and a couple of times it didn't really fit well. However, his aggression towards others, the way he killed people by just pressing his knee down their throat to choke them, and the final fight scene when he's like pummeling into Batman's ribs, yeah, I liked it. I was absorbed. I was like, yeah, Bane can fucking hit someone. Even Alfred points out the ferocity, the training, the speed. You know, he's a dangerous human being, and I got that. Tom Hardy's physique is perfect for this role, and so I will put that as one thing I could enjoy. Number 2, Marion Cotillard. She didn't get a great deal of screen time, and the whole twist of her being Talia al Ghul, it was okay. It wasn't anything great, but the accent she's got is really, really intriguing. And I know it's her regular voice, but it's just something that really caught my attention. And her character, she played it very, very simply and very, very sly towards the end. And so it was all the performance was right here in the eyes, and I liked that. It was very, very subtle. And this is what this film needed at times. It needed that little bit of technique. And the number one thing I actually did like about this movie, Anne Hathaway. I honestly thought someone like her would look at a superhero movie and think, it's probably below me. But you know, she had a right good time making this film, I reckon, because she went from very, very innocent and sweet, and you'd never even assume she was dangerous, to very, very sly and very sleek. And she played Selena Kyle incredibly well. And it just shocked me more than anything, but I was happy shocked at the same time. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give this film a 3 out of 10. Mainly because I don't think this is the film Christopher Nolan wanted to make. But he made do with what he had, and personally, could have done a lot better. So, thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and as always, leave me a dirty comment. And I'll see you next time for... oh, God. Why do I do this to myself? Join me next time for Catwoman. Oof. Take care now.
Hey.
Hi.
Hello?
I don't know who you are, or what you're ripping off. You had me arrested for having a headlight out. But I warn you, I have a special set of skills. And I'll use these skills to make your life a nightmare. But if you say you're sorry right now, that'll be the end of it. But if not, I will find you and I will kill you.
Fuck off.
I was waiting for you to hit me, if I'm honest.
Go.
I'm going to throw it. That's what I'm going to do. And